There's a silent epidemic happening right now. Not on the news, not on social media. Inside ordinary people. Every day, someone quietly stops participating. They stop posting. They stop arguing. They stop chasing promotions. They stop trying to prove themselves to people who were never really paying attention. From the outside, it looks like they've simply lost their ambition. Friends say they've changed. Family assumes they're depressed. Society calls them lazy. But what if that's not what's happening at all? What if these people aren't giving up on life? What if they've simply seen something that everyone else is too busy to notice? Most people believe that anyone who begins withdrawing from society must be broken. Maybe they're burned out. Maybe they're antisocial. Maybe they've become afraid of life. Sometimes that's true, but not always, because very few people suddenly decide to leave society. Instead, they slowly stop believing in what society keeps promising them. One day they notice that success doesn't always create happiness. That confidence is often just another performance. That many conversations aren't really about connection. They're negotiations for status, approval, or attention. And once your mind begins noticing those patterns, it's almost impossible to stop seeing them. Something strange begins happening. The rewards that once motivated you no longer feel rewarding. Not because you've become lazy, because your brain has started asking a different question. What is all of this actually for? That question changes everything. The applause sounds quieter. The competition feels meaningless. Even constant social interaction begins to feel exhausting. Psychology suggests that when our minds become overwhelmed for long enough, they don't always fight harder. Sometimes they conserve energy, not because they failed, because they're trying to protect themselves. At first, walking away feels peaceful. The silence feels like relief. No expectations, no pretending, no constant pressure to perform. But the human mind was never designed to live entirely inside itself. Slowly, the quiet room becomes smaller. The outside world begins feeling louder. A message from a friend suddenly feels overwhelming. An invitation becomes something to avoid. Without realizing it, the place that once protected your peace begins imprisoning it. So, what do these people know? Perhaps nothing extraordinary. Perhaps they've simply realized something most of us spend our entire lives avoiding. That endless achievement cannot replace inner peace. That attention isn't the same as connection. That being surrounded by people doesn't always mean belonging. Maybe they didn't quit society because they hated people. Maybe they quietly stopped participating in a game that no longer felt worth playing. Maybe the goal was never to disappear from society. Maybe the goal was to stop disappearing from yourself. Because sometimes, walking away isn't an act of surrender. It's the beginning of seeing clearly. The real question isn't whether you've been quietly quitting society. The real question is, what have you been sacrificing just to belong?